In this video, we're going to quickly look at adding styles. And if you don't know what styles are, they're cascading style sheets, CSS. It's really just making a page look better without messing with the content or the structure of the page. It's kind of like the painting of a house. Okay, it doesn't mess up the structure of the house, but it just makes it look better, you know. So in regards to web pages, that's what style is. And the best resource for this, I'll tell you right now, is WC3 Schools. If you go to www.wc3schools.com, they have a ton of tutorials up there. It teaches you all about web development, CSS. It gives you everything that you need to know. It gives you examples and references, HTML, JavaScript, all that sort of stuff. But this is for beginners, so we're just going to quickly go over CSS. So right now, I have my web page. And this is a web page I did in a previous video. So if you're a beginner and you have no idea about any of this, so go back to those previous videos that I made and then catch up to this point. What I did was I added a link here. I have my heading right here, and it's all put into this body, and then I have my title, and I have my declaration up here. All I want to be able to do is add a quick style. So there's a couple of kinds of styles that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about inline styles, when you add a style inside of the tag. And let's do that with the body. Let's go ahead and add a style. So I'm going to go inside the body tag and add a style there. And I'm going to say that style will equal background. So that's the background, but what do I want? I want the background color. And now, in order to make the style work, I have to give it a value, and the value is separated by a colon, and I'm going to call up light blue, just like the example we have here inside of the WC3 schools. So right here they're using it in a different format. I'm using it inside of a tag, and it will work either way. So I have light blue, oops, forget the L. I have light blue here, they have light blue there. I'm going to save mine and I'm going to refresh. And now I'm going to go to this About Me page by clicking on that. And I didn't get my light blue, so let's see why. Because when you look at my light blue, my color, you notice how this is spelled wrong. So the main thing every time you're typing anything, because we're not using an IDE, it doesn't help us out, we have to pay close attention to what we're typing. So now it will work. So when I hit refresh, you see that I get my light blue color. That's the fastest way to add a style. There's another way. This is called inline styles, right? So I added it directly to my body. So let's say if I wanted to add a style to my H1 tag, but I don't want to go in here and add it inside of there. It makes everything kind of messy. And then let's say if I wanted to add it to all my H1 tags. So let's say I had an H1 tag here, and then I had another one down here, another one down here, another one down here. So I have 3 H1 tags. Actually, I have 4. So I'm going to call this one 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to call this H1 tag 0. All right, so I'm going to save that, refresh this. So I have all these H1 tags, and I want to be able to alter those H1 tags. Now, I don't want to go into all of these tags and add a style, an inline style. That will be very bad code. That would be very bad programming. And it'll look very sloppy. It'll be very difficult to read over a period of lines after you start making your website a little bit longer. So what we want to do is make styles. We want to declare a style tag above our, or in our head area here of our web page. So I'm going to go inside the head, and I'm going to declare an open and close style declaration. There. Now inside of the style, what I can do is I can go ahead and call upon the H1, all H1 tags, and I'm going to enclose it in these brackets. And what do I want for these H1 tags? Well, maybe I want to change the color. So I'm going to say color will equal blue, or how about red for now. And then I put a semicolon there, and then I can put the next thing I want to happen with these styles. I mean with the header tags, heading tags, sorry. I'm going to put the text. What do I want to do with the text? I want to align the text. And then I'm going to give it a type of align. Align it left, align it right. I'm going to put center. I'm going to close that. And I can keep on going with different attributes. I can go ahead and add on to this H1 tag. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and save that. And keep in mind, that's in between the H1 tag. And then I say what I want to affect throughout my entire web page. So I'm going to hit save. And also keep in mind, that's in the header tag. And I'm going to refresh this. And now you see all of my headers, my H1 tags, all of my H1 tags have utilized that style. So we looked at two kinds of styles. We looked at the inline style that I did to the body, and then we looked at the styles that we put up in the header. The styles we put in the header is easier in the long run, but in the short run, the inline styles work just as fine. This is kind of up to you how you want to push that. I'm going to give you one more example of what we can do with these styles. So here I have all these headers, and I'm going to make myself a div here. And a div is just a division, an area that we're saving. We don't have to do anything with it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you after I'm done making this div, and you notice what I did was I enclosed this header into this div. If I save this and I go here and I refresh, nothing has happened. Nothing really changed. The only thing that changed is maybe I got a little bit of space in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this div. I'm going to give it something called an ID equals. And that ID I'm going to call SH. Okay, so I called it SH. That's the ID. Now, if I go up here into my styles declarations here, and I say I'm gonna do something. It's not gonna work initially, but I'm gonna show you why. I'm gonna say SH, and I'm gonna do the same thing I did before. And I'm gonna make SH. I want it to be left aligned, so I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. I want it to be white, and I want it to be left. All right, I'm going to save that. Now I'm going to refresh this. You notice it didn't work, only because just by putting SH here, it doesn't understand what I'm asking for. The only time I can do something like this is when it's one of the special HTML tags, like a header. See how the header is a special HTML tag. A is a special HTML tag. P is a special HTML tag. And all of these you can find on WC3 Schools. But SH is not a special HTML tag because I just made that up in the ID. So what I need to do is put a special thing here so it knows that I'm talking about an ID, and that means I have to put the pound in front of there. So what's going to happen is that even if I run this, it's not going to work. Even though I did change it to this special pound type, it's not going to work because I still have the H1 tag overriding this one. So if I were to refresh this, I still have the H1 tag overriding the SH tag. But if I were to go here, and I'm going to take this H1 off of here, and now you'll see this entire division here is down here now. And I can change the size of this. So that was that third one. I can change the size of this. And now when I refresh it, you see the size is bigger and I can change the color. But because I had initially had the H1 tag on there and the H1 tag styles was running, it overrode this one. And so now you see how by using that ID, I was able to isolate this part of my website. I can do that with any part of the website. For instance, if I wanted to give this H1 tag a name or an ID, I can do that too. This also will work, although you wouldn't want to do that because you can access the H1 tag unless it was a special H1 tag that you wanted to specifically pinpoint. For instance, like what I did here, I could have just gave the H1 tag an ID and did it from the H1 tag. Whatever you give the ID to, that's how you access the ID inside of CSS for the styles. So you add the pound, you put the name there, open and closing brackets, and then you put the attributes you want to affect. All right, hopefully this was helpful to you guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, and make sure you subscribe. Talk to you guys next time. Bye.